So today, we're cooking up some sausage, bacon, and eggs. I'll even chop up a potato in there. No way, say it isn't so. Yep. We're going to do a tater too. So the potato will cook in the bacon grease. Then I'll cook the sausage, and we'll go from there. So come on, wakey wakey. I think I'm going to do is bring it over here to the side. Have it on this angle. Let's see how well this works. You can see where I'm cooking. You can see where I'm preparing. Yep. There we go. And let's get the little lives. There we go. And then get that going. Got that going. Go to here. Doo-dah. Come on, come to Papa. Notifications. View videos that may be using my content. How dare they? Of course, this means war. So welcome to MacBean Scottish Fitness. We're going to cook up some breakfast here and kind of chat just a little bit. So I got the bacon going on right there. I got that burner going just to heat up the kitchen. So this is on low, and basically I am making the grease and cooking potatoes. Potatoes? Where? Well, potatoes here. So let's throw the potato on the ground, soften it up. It may have not have been the plan. When I say it may not have been, I mean it wasn't the plan. So let's peel the potato, and I'm going to cube it up, probably in small cubes. I'm going to cook it right with the sausages. And remember, all veggie scraps go into the garden. Now one thing when you're buying potatoes from the store, you kind of have to use them quicker. They don't last very long. Because the time they got to the store, especially this time of year, they're a bit old. Now they'll store them in places that are temperature controlled and oxygen controlled. You know, to keep them from spoiling. But when you get to your home, well, they can have a tendency to get soft and start messing up quite quickly. So usually I try to use these within a week of buying them. Generally you should be able to get a lot more storage time in that. And when they're in season, that is more likely the case. But when they're out of season like they are now, they're definitely out of season. Then it's not probable. I like that word probable. I'm going to kill that now because I kind of need the area. And the kitchen's starting to warm up now when you got all the burners going. Let's get this going here. So, howdy. Got somebody in. Let's see who's in chat. Terrible days with glasses. Albuquerque. I've been to Albuquerque. We go see my daughter. We actually stay in Moriarty. I think at the Red Roof Inn. So you're probably a little bit warmer than it is here. Here it was a balmy 0 degrees when I headed out this morning to do some of my second job, which is I do some deliveries for Walmart. And it pays pretty good. I think so anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain this bacon and I'm going to take the pan off of the heat. Because I don't want to burn the grease. And even though I had this burner on low, all my burners are pretty powerful. I can actually cook hamburgers on my simmer burner, which usually is not what you use it for. Now we're going to cube up the tater. And we're going to cook that in the bacon grease. And once it starts cooking, I'm going to actually add the sausage in there too. So the potatoes usually take the longest, but the smaller you can cube them up, the better off they are. Hey, good morning. Speaking of Arizona, there's Ray. I think both of you guys have got better weather than I got. It's still cold and it's not looking like it's going to really get decent until mid next week. When I decent, I mean 40-degree weather. We've had probably a good month of single-digit temperatures, which we can get, but not often. Must be that global warming. So what I'm making is I cooked up bacon. So I got that roasted over there. I'm going to use the grease to cube up some potatoes. And I'm going to cook it in the bacon grease. And then I am going to add a pound of breakfast sausage and mix in there. And then cover it with eggs. Got to get to work. Okay. I appreciate it. You can always watch the replay. But this is going to be a hearty meal because I want some calories to try to get a good workout in. I've already been working 3 hours this morning. Like I said, my second job. I'm trying to squeeze everything in together, and I'm running out of time. Time is not on my side. No, it's not. You remember the old Nationwide commercial? Used to go, Nationwide is on your side. And when I used to sell appliances, we used to get, people had nothing better to do with their lives except waste my time. They'd come in like they were going to purchase, and they'd say, I need a quote for my insurance company. I said, cool. Not a problem. You know, I said, well, give me your best price. I said, well, why do you want my best price if it's for the insurance company? Inquiring minds want to know. They said, what do you mean? I said, well, the insurance paying for it. Why would you care? Because a lot of us going around getting quotes, and I said, okay, that's fine, here's a quote. And I priced them the kitchen up on retail. Basically what everybody else would sell it for. And he's like, well, no, you don't understand. And I, son, I perfectly understand. You're here to waste my time. But I said, well, here, when it cuts you a check, come back and I'll work you out a great deal. He goes, no, I need your best price now. I said, I don't understand why that is. You're not buying it now, you're just going to get a check. Well, they want me to get the best price. I said, oh, I guess then Nationwide is not on your side. He's looking confused. I finally told him it was time for him to go. The entertainment quantity of this had grown old. Yeah, he wasn't no insurance thing. He was just trying to shop me out for my price so he could go somewhere else and buy it. And folks, when you're thinking, well, now that was before the internet, really. Not something that you see too much going on now, because anywhere you go, they'll get right on the internet and say, oh, I found you a better price, here it is, and makes it a lot easier. I mean, just unless you like stuff, not easy. But it should be easier. All right, so I've now spiced her up. So I got potatoes with salt, pepper, and seasoned salt in there. And then I'm going to cook it a little bit, then I'm going to add the sausage. And then once all that's cooked, I'm going to throw some eggs in there. It looks like I've got partial egg cartons I don't need. That should be plenty of eggs. And that is going to make for a very, very nutritious meal. So I've got, there you go, you see the potatoes going. Then I'm going to add sausage. Then I'm going to add eggs. I could add onions too. And if the missus was here, I would. And then once the bacon kind of dries up, I'll break the bacon bits in there and get it going. There we go. I hope everybody's enjoying my little chat here. I almost didn't do it. I was like, I'm just going to cook, and then later on I'll go down to the basement and do some lifting, and maybe that's when I'll record it. Now you probably noticed I'm in a little more hairier condition than usual. I really let my beard grow out, and in this sub-zero weather, it was a pretty good idea. Now I'm going to stir up those and let it get covered with the bacon grease and the spices. And I do this so we can get all the sides covered. And I'll add some more. I use the pink salt. Because it has trace elements in there, which I won't. I should scan this with my aunt and see what they think of it. I got here from the hello from the last to the first. Oops. Here we go. Let's try to get over. Thanks for popping in. We're cooking breakfast. We got potatoes. Kind of slowly frying, not at high heat, but at lower heat. Let me pick it up a little bit. And I'm going to get them about halfway cooked before I add the sausage in there. Now I cubed them up a little bit smaller so they wouldn't take as long. But really what I'm looking at is having a meal that's going to have plenty of calories and plenty of protein between the eggs and the sausage. Wow, there's going to be a lot of protein there. I should have picked up some Fairlife milk today. I forgot to do that. Oops. I got kitty litter. I didn't get the milk. Now, that might be the next trick then. And I got bacon. I'll kind of break up and tear up there at the end and add to it. And then cover it all with A1 steak sauce. Good. I don't know if I'm going to have enough milk. Oh, I will. Mama bought milk. She bought regular milk, but that's okay. It's I usually do Fairlife milk, but sometimes when where she's at, they will be out. You know, because they're not stocking enough of it. And so just buy regular milk, so which is good. I can mix the two together. So I got breakfast sausage, spicy. Ooh. Oh no, it's spicy. And I suppose I can do it. I suppose I can sort of suffer through it. Have to suffer through the spicy. Have you ever cooked? No, but I've had maple flavored bacon, which I did like, so yeah, that makes sense. And I do have pure maple syrup, so that would stand to make sense. So I have it on purpose, but I've had maple bacon or maple cured, and that would kind of remind me of that. So it's like, wow, heck of an idea. Makes sense. Usually when we have waffles or pancakes, and it's not very often, twice a month if that, I use pure maple syrup and honey, and the wife uses the syrup from the telephone pole, as they call it, where there was no maple tree was ever involved. I will. I'd actually throw a little maple syrup in there. I could see would do the body good. Alright, so we're starting to get these others are starting to cook, and I think I got the spices just right. What is hitting the old nostrils is smelling delicious. So right now it's just potatoes baked in. Here, I'll give you all guys a good glimpse of what it looks like. And of course, cooking in cast iron is also going to help with getting iron in my diet. So they always say it's good to cook with cast iron. So we're going to have some spicy breakfast sausage. My godson gave me this, so we're going to try it out. So we get these at the Chinoa Meat Locker in Chinoa, Illinois. And I like their meats. I buy their bacon, breakfast sausage, hamburger, and also make some really good jerky. beef sticks. Making me hungry. I know, making me hungry too. That's one they always say, you know, a good meal takes about 45 minutes. You cannot rush deliciousness. Just shouldn't do that. So I save my bacon grease a lot of times when we're just baking. And I use that cooking. I don't use seed oils. Now, what I can do is I can just crack the egg right over everything and then mix it up. A lot of times I do that, or I can pre-mix it. 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. I'm just going to crack them over the whole thing when everything's ready. The whole idea is you want to keep moving this around, keep it from sticking, and get all the sides coated with the grease and spices. And I'm trying to get it mostly cooked because when I do put the sausage in there, the sausage is going to be absorbing most of the heat and doing most of the cooking. So it's almost like you want to time these things just right. Yeah, I'm glad I added potatoes. I was just going to do the sausage and eggs. I said, let's add the potatoes in there too. Especially when I looked at how the potatoes were looking, I'm like, yep, we need to get those going. And then this food bucket will have to get outside and dumped. It's getting pretty full. So all the vegetable scraps and eggshells and coffee grounds go to the garden. And that definitely be on this channel now too. I'm eggs stick to cast iron. So if you cook at the right heat, if you allow the cast iron to get evenly hot, and you cook with bacon grease and that, it doesn't stick too bad. You know, you will get a kind of a small coating on it, depending on how fast you put it on the plate. So yeah, it does stick a little bit, but not bad. You just gotta clean the pan afterwards, and of course we never use dish soap. So cast iron, you never use dish soap. What I find, even with the non-stick pans, is after a while that ability goes away quickly. So what they show you, oh look, I'm spinning around that. Yeah, maybe that works the first time you use it. It's been in my experience, it doesn't work very long after that. But usually when you put the eggs in later and you have other food in there and that, it tends to stick to the food. So it's not really that part of the problem. Yeah, sort of like a stainless steel. Otherwise, it'll stick. So you're still going to get some sticking in there, but a lot of times what that does is you throw it on a cold skillet, whether it's stainless steel, cast iron, or even the non-sticks, and then it heats up. Well, now it's cooking into it. When it's hot, it tends to give you a barrier. It's like, you know, potatoes here are not really sticking to it. But if I started with a cold pan, then I would have had some stick in there. And you gotta move it around too. You gotta keep them separated. So I got potatoes pretty close. So the whole idea now, you're just trying to time it just right. It won't take long for the sausage to cook. But I want to make sure that the potatoes are cooked enough, but not too much. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to anticipate and put everything in at the right time. It's kind of like when you make a stew, you know, hey, Justin, how we doing? You put in the mushrooms last because they cook the fastest. I'm doing well. On TikTok, yeah, I pop one on TikTok every now and then. TikTok's a strange place. I don't know. Just saying. Let me see. Audience. No. So I pop on TikTok for a very short time, and then I can only stand it so long. There are some very, I don't know, full of themselves people there. And it's some way they, in my opinion, it's how they get attention. You know, they're trying to, you know, just trigger the other side. You know, you got one in a cowboy hat that's, you know, he's walking there, you know, he sleeps like that, he's just, you know, got a smirk on his face, and he says something that's controversial that, you know, at least half the population is not gonna like. And it gets him a lot of attention. And where it cracks me up is, yes, I was in the Army, but it cracks me up is, it's not something you do in public, it's not something anybody do in public. And that's probably my one thing I don't like about the new oxymoron, social media. A lot of it is not. So you just have creators there to spread disinformation or just get you angry so they get their clicks. And that's how a lot of them make their money. They were able to build up their channels that way, and they get money on it that way, so I guess. Yeah, I'm a baby boomer. Now, there are some good stuff on TikTok. I get some nice recipes. I've done some crock pot recipes off of that. So there are some useful things. You just gotta really go through there and filter out the algorithm, because you're always trying to throw that other stuff at you. And so I'll click on it and go not interested, not interested, not interested. And then for a couple days, it'll be calmer, and here it comes again. I mean, TikTok is troll heaven, in my opinion. A lot of people are just there to troll. I got better things to do with my time. But there are some good recipes and some cooking ideas on there, which I enjoy. Because I like to cook. And then I'll save those, and actually I'm going to be doing one this weekend maybe. I get some pork roast. I got some things I got to pick up at the store. And they have a recipe in there which I think is going to be delicious in the crock pot. And crock pot's nice because I can start the stuff in the morning and we can eat in the evening. Not a lot of snow. It's been cold. It's been below zero almost every day for the last 3 or 4 weeks. It was like 0 degrees this morning, and then the wind chill made it -17. So in my book, it's -17. And that's Fahrenheit. It's supposed to get a high of 18. And then I think tomorrow we might even make the 20s. And then I think Sunday we might even see some 30s. And after a cold winter, after you're in that below zero weather, 30's warm. You can go out there and go, man, that's a t-shirt weather. And if I really wanted to get creative, I could make a gravy. Now that would be getting creative. 40 degrees plus where I am. Where I am in Celsius. That's hot. Where are you at, bud? You gotta be in the, towards the, well, no, let me see what. Oh, 32 degrees here is freezing. That's 0 degrees Celsius. So 32, you gotta be in the 80s degrees in that. You gotta be towards the equator or whatever. Or in the southern hemisphere. It sounds warm. Yeah, we got about another month and a half to 2 months before we'll start seeing that type of temperature. So the sausage is getting nice and cooked up. And this is where you want to keep everything moving. The idea what it looks like. There we go. Now we got the sausage in there. Pretty good in the neighborhood. Then the last thing we'll add in there will be the eggs. Each time I'll sit there and chop the sausage pieces into smaller pieces. It helps make sure that they get cooked. There's no raw spots. Now, onion would have been a good addition to this, but it's not something I need to have. But if the wife was home, there would have been an onion added to this. And I'm going to break up the bacon pieces into it. Come on, stay on. There we go. What we got here? Hello, Jamie. Next solo feed. Oh, Australia. All right, cool. You're down there, down under. Have not been there. When I was stationed in Korea in 1981, had I not used all my leave before I went there, I could have taken a C-130. They actually had military flights offering to Australia. But I didn't have, I used all my leave to spend time with my friends before I went overseas for a year. Had I known that was an option, I would have saved 15 days. And I could have went over there and visited and explored Australia. And what I heard at the time is they really treated American military really well back in those days. Not saying that they don't now, I just don't know. Now we're going to crack the eggs in there and put in there. Remember I saved the egg shells. And I'll just mix the eggs into it. So they're just sitting on top right now, so I don't have to worry about them cooking too quickly. So remember, each egg has about 6 grams of protein. The larger egg, a little bit more of the protein, so some of these might have 7 or 8. And it has all 20 amino acids. There is no better complete food than the incredible edible egg. And it's so peculiar, I'll use that word, that those who were not healthy were telling us to stay away from eggs. And go to cereals. And cereals are not good for you. There we go. I'll have to go buy some more eggs. So, we're going to have more of these secret spices. Suspiciously, looks like salt and pepper. Probably because it is. This is a scrap bucket that'll go out to the garden here soon afterwards. You always, use coffee cans to plant things. I'll be starting my peppers and tomatoes here pretty quick. I've already threw some potatoes in some. Went back to normal, yeah. Understand, you need cholesterol. Your brain needs cholesterol. What you want to stay away from are the processed foods. So here I put about a dozen eggs in here. It's going to kind of be the glue that holds everything together. And it won't take long to cook. It really will not. Now I am getting some that are going to stick to the bottom. There's really no way around that. But what you try to do is you try to keep it moving. To keep it separated. And the heat of the food itself is probably doing most of the cooking on those eggs, especially when you get it spread, kind of thin it out like that. Now, for a while, I used to eat raw eggs, and I will when I use the blender, when I do protein shakes, I'll throw 3 or 4 eggs in there and just blend them up. Along with the milk and some peanut butter and a banana. And the few times that I do remember, creatine. I just don't remember it very often. I'm just going to keep this stirring. It's still cooking, I turn the heat off. And the pan holds heat. So what I got here is a really, really, really good mixture of aminos, proteins, clean calories. Oh man. Now, that's looking good in the neighborhood. Now in the summer, I'll have green peppers added into this and jalapenos directly from the garden. So those will definitely be addition to. When I really want to treat myself, probably the only bad thing I'm putting in here is I put some A1 steak sauce in here. Just to really kick up that flavor. Oh, man, oh man. So you are on regular milk. There's some Fairlife in there, but I'll get to it. So this one has a little bit more sugar, and it's 8 grams of protein per 8 ounces instead of 13. Ah. Mama still hasn't drank her milk she poured the other day. Should know. Alrighty. So now we are all set. Let's wait for it to cool down a little bit. I'm gonna wolf this down. It's gonna be a good breakfast. I'm gonna give my stomach about a half hour to settle down, and then I'll probably head back into town. So let's eat, relax for about 30 minutes, and then I'll head in. I want to get one more delivery if I can. If I can't, no big deal, but there's $9 extra riding on it. And then I'll go in the gym and do some lifting. So everybody, thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. Remember, rest, nutrition, proper exercise, hydration, eat good food. All right? Sit there and do things that are enjoyable. All right? Turn off the random creators that are just trying to make you angry. That's all they're doing. It pays them money. That's all it does. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It's almost there. We're Thursday. So Throwback Thursday is coming. And I got to shut off here on my phone. I almost forgot.